Good morning, NAMM. No, not Vietnam, but NAMM. NAMM, the National Association of Music Merchants, and they've been doing this show here since 1976. Actually, they started in 1902, but they didn't do it here because this wasn't here. And today we're going to go inside and we're going to explore all of the cool stuff that's there. There are things in there that I have absolutely no idea what they're for, but somebody does, and they really like them. But there's so many things in there that I want to touch, that I want to play, that I want to see, that I want to be a part of, and I want all of you to come in there with me. I'm Rick Snider with Rico's Blues News and the Left Coast Blues Alliance, and we're going to go check out NAMM, and you're going to come with us. Hi, this is Rick Snider. I'm here with Rico's Blues News and the Left Coast Blues Alliance at the 2024 NAMM show, and we're here talking to Rick from Silvertone Guitars, one of the guitars from my childhood, actually.
Yeah.
So, this is an original?
Yes, this is an original 1449, and we actually have the original. That's the one that everybody talks about, the amp and case guitar.
Right.
So when we started the Silvertone project, I worked for Samick Music, who used to own the brand.
Okay.
I was their chief engineer. So what we wanted to do is take the Silvertone brand and re-engineer the guitars, keep the look as much as possible, but re-engineer them for young players, you know, with modern techniques. Manufacturing's changed a lot since the 1950s and the 40s and the 30s. So just to take a quick look, let me show you something.
Sure.
And Silvertone also used a lot of different factories. In the 50s and the 40s, a lot of it was the Dan Electro factory in Neptune, New Jersey, the Harmony factory in Chicago, the K factory in Chicago, the Supro Guitars was in the Valco factory, and they also used the Gretsch factory as well.
Wow.
So they were never a manufacturer, they were a brand in the Sears catalog. So there's all these really cool designs, especially through the 50s and 60s. So to modernize them, you know, the original Dan Electros, like this guitar, were made out of masonite and pine.
Yeah, turn it a little bit so Andre can see the back of it there.
And it's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
They didn't have any truss rods, they just had stiffening rods and that sort of thing. You couldn't intonate the bridge. So re-engineer them. What I did is just did a solid body of lightweight mahogany, changed the knobs to steel because the old plastic ones used to break. These are real steel knobs. They're proper switch, full-size pots, string through the back because I like that sound. It really couples with the body well. A modern truss rod with the truss rod wheel, which I really like because you can make truss rod adjustments instantly.
Ooh.
Without wedging something in there or without putting a truss rod cover.
Okay.
So you can see. And we did some really cool finishes, like the original. You'll see there's some silver flake.
Yes.
That's even improved with a sort of three-dimensional look.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and these are manufactured by Samick Music Factory still to this day, which is
Okay.
really good. They're in Indonesia. They make really good stuff.
So I see these have the so-called lipstick pickups on them.
Yes.
And you have a story about the lipstick
Yeah,
pickups.
the lipstick pickup started when, post-war, parts were really expensive and difficult to get while he was developing a lot of this stuff. So Nate Daniels, who was a genius who designed all the Dan Electro, the amps and the guitars, got lipstick tubes because there were a lot available from somebody in I think it was in New Jersey, a whole warehouse full of lipstick tubes
that they couldn't sell. Right?
Yeah, they just, post-war, a lot of the women worked in factories, so the sales were real slow.
Okay.
So he got the lipstick tubes, cut the lipstick tube in half, and shoved some wire and magnets in there, and welded some clips to them to make them height adjustable from the back of the guitar.
Oh my goodness.
You talk about brilliant. That guy, his amp designs were phenomenal.
What was his name again?
Nate Daniels.
Nate Daniels.
Yes. And one of the guys who works with our other brand, who I'm just doing some designs with, Trev Wilkinson, Wilkinson Hardware and Pickups.
Yeah.
He's a huge fan of Nate Daniels. Said the stuff he did with what he had to work with was just simply brilliant. So, keeping some of that as much as possible, but making the guitars modern, modern side pickups, solid body. So, with this guitar, it being a hollow body is more of a one-trick pony, which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
But if you make a guitar that's more solid body, I can get more tones out of this.
Right.
This is a guitar you could gig with and be your only guitar you use any night like a classic rock band.
And I definitely know people who exclusively use the Silvertone.
Yep. Here's a really cool guitar. This is a 1939 model 851 mandolin ukulele.
Holy smokes!
So again, this. If you look up close, it has a plastic fingerboard.
Oh yeah!
I think this thing costs $3 at 19. So
oh my goodness!
So I took that and we made of course, didn't do a plastic fingerboard. This is walnut, and I increased it to a concert size. You can see it's a little bit bigger.
Yes.
It's made out of some really nice striped mahogany. We recreated the graphic in Photoshop.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, and we're using geared tuners instead of the friction tuners. They're more accurate, easier to tune. The baritone, let me do that one. That's kind of cool too. So the original Silvertone 1373 was a 6-string bass.
Okay.
Which, for any of your viewers that might know that if they've ever listened to Glenn Campbell's Wichita Lineman, that solo was done on a 6-string bass.
Oh my goodness.
So it's tuned E to E, and it was basically this body with a 30-inch scale. But right now, baritone guitars are very popular. So what I wanted to do is take that model and make it a little shorter scale and do a baritone tuning, which is B to B.
Wow.
So this is a 28-inch scale, which is a little more comfortable for guitar players to wrap their head around than a 30-inch scale.
Right.
And it's tuned B to B. Very simple. I did away with the concentric knobs, so it's just 3-position switch, volume, tone, and I had a string through the back too to get a really nice contact with the body. Intonatable bridge. Again, the truss rod wheel adjustment to make it really easy to make truss rod adjustments on the fly.
That's great.
And this is going to sell for $399.
$399.
Yep. 3 colors are going to be the black silver flake, Pelham blue, and a really heavy metal sparkle silver.
I think I may have to get me one of those.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing about this is, for most players, a baritone is not going to be their primary instrument.
Right.
I'm a bass player. I have a couple basses that I'll spend a lot of money on, the ones that I use on every gig, every session. But on a fretless bass, I stink on fretless. I'm not going to spend $2,500 on a fretless for me.
Yeah.
But I'll spend $500 if I need it for a tool in the studio. I think that guitar is going to do really well for guys that have home studios that want a baritone, but might not want to spend a lot of money. They just want that one sound, So that's new.
So I'm kind of curious about the lap steel. What do you think the lap steel is going to sell?
My guess is, I already spoke to the factory. I think that'll come in probably under $400.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a recorded King lap steel.
Yeah, they're really awesome.
Yeah, it's great. $200, but I would be happy to do this as well.
Yeah, I've been searching around on the internet to buy one because what I like to do is always buy the original.
Right.
Talk to a lot of my friends who are guitar players. I worked as a bass player at Nashville for 25 years, so I've met a lot of friends that really know what they're doing. So I consult with a lot of those guys. What would you do to this? If you were going to take it on stage today, what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you change? You would probably have some really good ideas on what you might change. So I'm going to buy the original lap steel, get some advice, and then we'll make them and see if we can sell for you.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you very much.
Goodbye, NAMM. No, not Vietnam, but the NAMM Show. We're thrilled that you were part of our journey at the 2024 NAMM Show. Your presence made the experience even more special. Stay connected with us by following Rico's Blues News on Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. The NAMM Show has truly rebounded in the post-pandemic era, offering a diverse array of experiences that cater to all tastes, not just for blues enthusiasts. Here's looking forward to sharing more exciting moments with you on Rico's Blues News and through the Left Coast Blues Alliance. Goodbye for now.